it the very first time that you decided to become an art dealer?
I had a very interesting mother. She was an invalid. She had rheumatoid arthritis and 5 children, and very bright, a college graduate. And so I grew up with going from the age of 12 to museums to see fine art, and she'd tell me particularly. And this one day I came home at 14, and she said, "Tell me what you saw, Dorothy. I miss it so much." And I said, "Mother, I'm ashamed because I only saw one painting." And I never went on to the rest because I fell in love. And that's how I became an art dealer.
So the first time that you met Warhol, explain it to me. How did you stumble up to him? What happened? How did you meet him?
The man who did these loves, the name is Michael Mackenzie. He was a friend of Andy Warhol's, worked at the factory a lot with him. And he took me there one day and he said, "I want you to meet Andy." And I walked in, we said hello, gave each other a hug, and we loved each other from that day on. I believe that he was very bright, whereas most people didn't think he was. But if you talk seriously with him, he was a master of everything. I tell the story often that we used to go to antique shops on, I believe it's 3rd Avenue in New York. And they'd bring out a package of diamonds. And he said, "I'll take that one." And the whole thing, the man would say, "That's the only real one in there." So he wasn't this dumb little thing that people sort of made him out like. And that was because the art that he did was new to people, and they didn't know whether to like it or not like it. A dealer in New York by the name of Ronnie Feldman, a very wonderful man, said, "Let's publish. I'll publish, and Dorothy will sell it, and Andy will make it, and we'll help you. We'll do portfolios." So I am a sales girl. It was very much fun to go to his factory, which you all probably have heard a lot about. The dining room was an antique table with beautiful chairs, and the rest of the rooms were kind of kooky. But he was someone to know because I just fell in love with this young man. Well, one day, this man who I'm so crazy about in New York, this Ronald Feldman, he called me one day and he said, "Oh, Dorothy, you're gonna be so excited. Andy Warhol called and he asked me to send you a portrait that he's done of you." And he said, "It's here, and it's red, and it's just gorgeous." Oh, I'm so excited, I said, "I just love it." He said, "But wait a minute. He did another one. He did a blue one." So I didn't want to, but I did call him. And I said, "Andy, I heard you did my portraits and you're sending me one." He said, "Yes." I said, "But I heard you did 2, and I would love both of them." He said, "You really want 2? I said, "I really do." He said, "Oh, okay, we'll send you the both." So came the red and the blue. And then one day I came into the factory and I had this sweater on, and he said, "I love it. I love that sweater. Please sit down. I want to take your picture. No makeup or anything." And he took a picture of me. And then one day I received this one in the mail. But I should tell you that the blue and the red are how I wore my hair. They're called a bouffant, I guess. And Andy didn't like them. So one day he had a very important man who cuts hair there, and he cut my hair, and Andy told him what to do, and this is the haircut. And I still have a version of that haircut 95 years later. No, but a long time later. I walked into the factory one day and there was a big canvas on the floor, and Andy and Basquiat, one was painting one side and one was painting the other side. They had a line down the middle. And I walked over to give Andy a kiss, and he said, I made a big mistake. He said, I never should have said, yes, I do this, because he's a better artist than I am. We just had fun together. I enjoyed them and I loved their work. Keith Haring would come in and he'd bring his tennis and Andy would sign the tennis. And so it was that these artists were not competitive at all. They were happy for each other. I could never paint or do anything artistic. I loved it, but I couldn't do it. But I was a bit jealous of their talents, whereas none of them were jealous of each other. They were proud of each other. Collecting is an excitement. It's something that you'll never forget where you bought it, how you bought it. And I also tell you that in the middle of the night I come out and I look. And I'm so pleased with what I have up. A lover is a lover, that's all I can tell you. It's the same as it would be in a love affair. It's an actual love affair with a canvas.